Hello everyone, this is my 2006 Chevy Equinox, and I've got a battery problem here. Not exactly a battery problem, but if you ever went to turn on your car and it makes that turnover noise or clicking noise, but it doesn't turn over, and key word here, the power goes out. The thing about that is that you're going to think it's the battery, the alternator, or the starter all the way at the bottom of the car. You'll be spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars trying to figure that shit out. The easiest way to figure that out is you test the battery with the multimeter. If you have 12.6 volts with the car turned off, your battery is perfect. It's supposed to have around 12 point, probably around 14 volts when it's turned on. And if the battery is good, you might want to inspect the positive terminal cable. Why do I tell you that? I noticed that when I turn over the car, it doesn't turn on, but I leave the key on accessory. I noticed the power on my aftermarket radio come on and off. You can also see the dashboard lights flicker. Sometimes when you turn on the car again, it doesn't turn on and the power goes completely out. So how did I notice it was the positive terminal cable? Well, at one point I noticed the dashboard lights came on when I tried to fuse the battery and everything, testing it around. So as a last resort, I decided to touch the positive cable, move it around. And I went to check the power on the dashboard with the key on the accessories, and sure enough, it was on. It had power. So it's a faulty positive cable, the old one here. You see how it gets bent over by the design of the box. Sometimes throughout the life of the car, you tend to fix things around the battery and you don't always put it back the way it's supposed to, and it gets chewed up and mangled like this. So along the cable, there's gotta be some kind of failure where it's not making a complete connection, and you have to move the cable so that when you go over to turn on the car, the battery can provide enough juice to the starter. So here I ordered a brand new cable from rockauto.com. This goes for $120. The way you install that is you remove the battery, you get rid of the bolts that hold the battery tray. But this design, I don't know how to take this out completely. So I'm going to have to leave the old cable there, just detach it from this end here. You take it off from the fuse box. You're gonna have to unscrew the negative terminal grounding here. The negative side here goes to that bolt there, one of those bolts. So if you follow the cabling that goes underneath the battery box and you disconnect the whole cabling from this area here, you will be able to cut this little brackets that hold the battery, the cabling to the underneath of the battery tray, and you'll be able to pull it off from underneath the battery tray, right? So the only thing that you need to do is follow the red one all the way down there to the bottom of the car, and it will lead to the starter. So you disconnect it from the starter. In my case, I'm gonna have to leave the old one attached to next to the negative side that's intact. That one's working perfect, and somehow reroute it and come back to the battery and put in the wire insulation or heat shield thing to the new one and work around that. Hopefully that'll work out. I shot this video because I don't see anything on YouTube for this specific model, and I tried to look for online searches and I didn't find anything. So If you ever have that problem where you turn on the car, it doesn't turn on, and you notice that the power was completely out after you turn on the key, but somehow the power comes back on a few minutes later, you might want to move around your positive battery cable because it might be damaged somewhere along the routing. I hope that helps. So don't go out and spend money on your alternator, your starter, or your battery for a brand new battery. I had to buy a brand new one because I thought it was the battery. It's not the battery. So that's $160 down the drain, but you learn and move on. Peace.